Shifra. Great. We have Redis pouring into the comment section. Let's see Pasco tonight. Emmanuel, ready. Awesome. So let's get started. We're just going to review a few things. And I'd like to get started like we love to get started. Welcome. Are you ready to close deals online at your work or business? And I've already seen Redis coming in. So I believe you are ready. You are set, and it's time to say go, as tonight is our day 3. And so tonight we are going to focus on the sales aspect right after we deal with the remaining 4 P's that are very fundamental to the entire process. I think if there's any lesson that you would have learned in this particular training is that, 1, marketing starts when you have set your position. That's something that we started with on day 1, and we really delved into positioning and how that's the image that your customer has about your business. We looked at different examples, like Katria's example, and where she was able to position her shop as a high-end smartphone, provider. And in her shop, she only sold new phones, no good second-hand phones, because she positioned herself that way. We've seen how when we looked at yesterday's session, there's a particular company called Green Groceries that actually positions themselves as an organic food producer, looking at the healthy foods. And yesterday with our interactions, we're able to find out a lot more about your businesses. And I hope today, as we get into the sales element, we are going to be able to act upon what we have learned and start bringing in the revenues that we want. That sounds great. Let's quickly review things that are key to this session. So day 1, we looked at positioning. Day 2, we looked at marketing. And now we are in day 3, and we are looking at selling. And the goal of selling is to show you how to close deals online. And that's very important. When we teach our sales to sales teams at MakeLife, we go a step further to be able to build closers. So we build closers for your company, people who can close the deals. Because if you've done all these things, you've been able to become visible and aware through positioning, you've generated interest. People are now coming in to see what you have, but you don't know how to seal the deal. You're going to see a whole lot of churn rate, or what is known as the return rate, where people are not converting to actually buy. And you don't want that as a particular person in business or as a salesperson working for a company. You want to be able to close the deals, to seal that deal. And that's what really sales is about. I mentioned that marketing, the goal of marketing is to generate interest. Well, the goal of sales is to close. That's really the goal, is to close deals. So if you claim to be a great salesperson, the question I have for you tonight is, are you closing the deals? So how many of us tonight are great salespersons? Let me just get that. Say, yes, I'm a great salesperson. I would love to see some positive fire going on into the chat box. How many of us are great salespeople? You've been selling, you sell. Just go ahead and type in, yes, me. Yes, I'm a seller. Let's see some engagement in salespeople. Okay, so no one is posting. I'm beginning to assume that tonight is when we'll become the great salespeople that we want to be. Okay, it's great to start seeing them pouring in. Me from Pasco, great to see that. How many of us pride ourselves as great salespeople, or maybe you feel it's something that you are beginning to get better at? You can say, well, getting ready, getting better. Go ahead and just engage with us, and we move together. I'm a great salesperson. Let's do a test. All right, great. Like that from Chanju. So a test indeed. All right, let's keep them coming in. It's always nice to see your engagement as we carry these sessions. Remember, this is a training, and it's only as beneficial as we are able to know exactly your areas of need. And that's something we pride greatly at MakeLife, is to solve the actual problem. We call it the true problem that is being faced. All right, so I'm sure some of you will type in later. Let's get to move on because of time. So these are 2 books that were sent to you. I believe by now all of you have received them. If you've not received them, be sure to get in touch with us and we'll be sure to send you your copies. And the books are the Go-to-Market book, Box E-Quick Guide, and the Improve Your Business Marketing Manual from the SIYB trainings. Quickly moving on, let's get started on today. So today, in our first portion of this training, we are going to finalize with the 4 Ps. So I hope you've had time to look into your manuals. If not, please find time after this session. So let me get started with this quote that I was able to say to you even last evening, that when your product hits the market, your hobby becomes a business. And this stands true that when you take your product to market, what you want is to be able to see your product succeed. You want your product to be able to get sold and start bringing in returns because you've invested quite a lot of time in it. There's what is known as also sweat equity. You know, you've built your business from scratch, you've labored, you've invested some of your personal savings, and you want your product to actually make impact, to start bringing you the returns. And you go to the market, and that's what we've been dealing with. Yesterday, we had a great conversation around product. We looked at how you need to meet the specific needs and the basic needs of your customers. We're able to talk about more things like how you can come up with new ideas, improve the product itself, you know, improve the packaging. We're able to look into all those ideas and how you can be able to better your product servicing. We went to price and we looked at the relationship between price, cost, you know, and profit, and we're able to see how you can be able to set your prices by being able to know how much your customers are willing to pay, number one. We looked at being able to know what your competitors are charging for a similar or same product. For those of you doing different products, maybe it's auto spares, you may have someone, a competitor, selling a similar or same product. So you need to know what they are charging. We looked at how you need to know your cost, what costs go into the business, because if you do not know your cost, you may be making a loss and not know it. Or you may have a break even, a business that just breaks even. And we call that in a funny way, remember, taima taiwa type of business. It never goes up, it doesn't go down. No, it's just there. And that's what happens when you don't really understand the costs that get into it. And we also talked lastly, the fourth thing about price was that you need to be able to make your pricing look attractive. You know, going through discounts like quantity discounts, cash discounts, and seasonal discounts. That being said, tonight we're going to look into a number of stuff. So we're just going to quickly look at our objective. We use the marketing mix to consistently build a positive image for your business. And like I said last night, there's emphasis on consistently. So it means that this is something that you must adopt from now on. You must adopt this marketing mix in your business model. Be able to go through this often with your team, be able to look at it as you as an individual and see how you can consistently build a positive image for your business. Some of the things we've taught you starting from day one, you may not be able to get them completely right at the start. But when you get started, you will get better and better because some of these things will get to sink in even the more. And that's what you want to do. So don't even be afraid to get started. I hope some of you already got started. In some of our trainings, we get to see people who already start, like from the one that hyped up and already implementing. And I believe that we have people like that here tonight as well, who have not just sat back and been getting this information, but are going to move out there and start acting. I hope they're action takers in this meeting tonight. And I believe that you're an action taker and you're going to practice this. This will benefit you greatly if you don't just retain it as new knowledge, but as an action point, a guide for you to do better. So we defined marketing yesterday, and for the purposes of tonight, let's relook at our definition because we are continuing from where we left off. So marketing is to identify customers' needs and to satisfy them better than your competitors in order to make a profit. That's what marketing is. And because we covered it yesterday, I won't go much on this. The marketing mix includes the 7 P's to help you respond to the needs of your customers in a way that will set your business apart from others. So this entire process we've been looking at, starting from the 3 P's that we covered yesterday: product, price, and we were able to go ahead and look at that was place. We looked at place yesterday night, and tonight we're getting to look at the next piece that I'll be unveiling to you shortly. So we looked at the first 3: product, price, place, promotion, as what we're looking at tonight: people, process, and physical evidence. So tonight we're going to finish up on the bottom 4. And when you have all these 7 in place, trust me, you're going to see your product performing better in the market, because then you would have strategically been able to build a process and an entire system that works for you. So process is an entire system that works for you. So these are the 4 of them that we're dealing with in that order. We'll start with promotion, then we're going to go to people, then we're going to go to process and physical evidence. Do not forget that the marketing mix, the reason is that you want to be able to do better than your competitor. Remember, marketing, you want to be differentiated. You want to be different from Mr. John who sells on the other side of the road. You want to be different from another person who's putting up an ad online. And the marketing mix gives you that. And you are very, 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 you're very, very intentional to be in this meeting, because not so many people are really taking the chance to invest in how their processes are optimized. And you have a great advantage, because you won't just be doing things because you're seeing people do them. You understand what impact that they have. Yesterday we even talked about psychological barriers and how you go around that. So imagine how better positioned you will be because you are intentional. So let's hit it off with the first one for tonight, being the 4th P, being promotion. Now, promotion is that 4th P of marketing, and promotion means informing and attracting the customers to buy your product. So the process where you inform your customer about your product in order to attract them to come and buy your product, that's what promotion is. And there are so many misconceptions. People always think that's marketing. Well, it is part of marketing, considering that promotion is part of marketing, but it's just a small part of it. So marketing isn't informing and attracting the customers to buy your product. That's promotion, which is a part of marketing, being the holistic view that we've talked about, where you position your business, you are differentiated from your customer, and you're able to make a profit at the end of it all. So that's the difference here. And in promotion, we're going to look at key elements tonight that are very vital. So these are 3 things, sorry, that we're going to look at about promotion. The first thing is who to inform and what to tell them about your business. So get that there's who and there's what. If you are going to promote your business, you need to know who you are promoting to. And in day 1, we looked at being able to identify your target customer. That's after you've done your market segmentation. Actually, starting with your market research, and you did your market segmentation and came to a decision to choose who your target customer is. So by now, you should already know who to inform about your product, whether it's a service or a good, and then what to tell them about your business. That is something unique about you. Then different ways of doing promotions. So now there are different ways of doing promotions, and we're going to look at some of those, such as advertising and sales promotions and publicity. We're going to look at those particular ones. And the last one is digital marketing, and we're going to look at that tonight, the different ways of doing your promotions. And make sure your product is in line with your position. Remember, at the end of the day, that's what you want. And just to quickly move from that, let's go to the actual menu. And I'm going to ask you to engage with me so that we can move through it together. This is part of the recommendations for you to complete this program. And we're just going to quickly do this together, where we cover, I'm just about to share my screen. Just checking to see if you can see my screen. Okay, so great. All right, the screen is seen, so I'm gonna just zoom in. So the first one is promotion, and like I said, promotion means to inform and attract the customers to your product, to buy your product. That's what promotion is all about. So that process of you beginning to attract your neighbors, attract your the fellow people that you go to church with or at work with, or if you're a student at school with, that's now promotion. When you start informing them, and you get to see informing being used because at times you can have your product, a very good product, you'll be able to go through all the process, and you can also have the right price. You'll be able to see the willingness. You've been able to do the comparison with your competitors all the way through to costing, and you even got the right place. You have done the right place. You know how to distribute your product to your customers, but then you just notice you're not making enough sales at the end of the day. It could be that you are not promoting your product well enough. Either you're not promoting it to the right persons, or you are not promoting with the right message. So let's look at an example here. So this is the owner of the shop that we looked at, the owner of Sunshine Bakery. So she says this: I thought more people would stop at my bakery. Am I doing something wrong? And here a friend of ours tells that maybe people do not know what you serve and how good it tastes. So now when we see that scenario, it shows you already that this person has done quite enough research. She's been able to know her price right, and she said her product, it's ready, she's worked on it. She actually has a place where she's selling, in which the people in the neighborhood can really benefit from, but they're not coming. So she needs to first do the first step, which is who to inform and what to tell them about the business. So before doing a promotion, you need to answer these two questions. Who would you like to attract to buy your product? That's the first question you should be asking yourself. And what is it about your product that you would like to tell them? Just two questions. And let me just go on this a bit. When you know who you'd like to attract about your product, to buy your product, you always want to have a message. Remember, you're informing them so that they can come buy from you. So now, what exactly are you going to inform your customers that's going to make them interested to come buy? So that's really where your messaging should be focused on when you talk about promotion. For example, we tailor our messages to be able to target the right pain points that our potential clients are facing. And that's what we do when we're talking of different particular, when we're talking about a certain topic and we're going to do a certain training, we're going to focus on what message should we put out there and make that message our headline for most parts. So now, if you do not have clear answers to these questions, your promotion efforts may be wasted. So it's very bad for you to go and promote a product not knowing who you're promoting it to. And that's why the first session was very important on positioning, because we were able to segment our markets and know exactly who we should be selling to. We realized that though our products may be amazing, they are not for everyone. And we need to pick rightly which customers we are going to serve, or else we may lose the loyalty of the customers because we'll be sending mixed messages. So we want to remain consistent at the end of the day. We want to be consistent. We want to have the same message in line with our positioning. Then another thing you want to be able to look at now is this. An example by Green Choice sells organic, by Green Choice. So now Green Choice sells organic vegetables, and their customer base is not made up of every household, but only those which have a good income and are well educated. So these are often working professionals who go shopping for food in supermarkets, read information on the internet every day, and join online social networks, and are tremendously health conscious. So she understands that. Now, to get to promote to those people, she realizes that she's not supposed to promote She's not supposed to promote just to anybody, not the people who are in the street corners, or the people, or start distributing flyers to get to those people. This is what she realizes, that for her type of business, the kind of product she's offering for healthy food, the type of people that she is going to find are found in shopping malls. These are people who read on social media, they go to websites, and she realizes that she needs to display her product in those supermarkets, advertise on websites that these professionals often read, and a fan page. So rather than going into the streets to start promoting her type of business, she realizes that her type of customers are found in the supermarket. So that's why she's going to put some very catchy banners. She's going to be able to do that so that the people that can actually buy her product will see them. Now let me ask a question. Have you been selling to the right customer of late? Have you been promoting, and that being the keyword here, have you been promoting to people who buy from you? There's no point in selling a product or trying to promote a product to someone who will not buy. It's a waste of promotion. For example, you are told you can go advertise in a newspaper, but then that newspaper, and as much as that looks like a great opportunity, if the people that buy your product don't read the newspaper, there's no point. Sometimes you may be wasting time on Facebook when you should actually be on LinkedIn because of the type of service you're doing. Sometimes you waste time being on other platforms because you should be on WhatsApp. So promotion, you really need to know where your people are found. And that's what Green Choice here was able to realize. And they make sure that they go promote in the right places to the right people. Now, apart from the key message, you can provide other important information such as what products you sell, what price and terms you apply. Now my screen keeps moving. And where customers can buy your product. So customers want to know that. So that's other information you can ensure that you communicate when you're doing your promotion. Add more detail. When you were able to get to pay for this course, you're able to see that there was detail provided through the funnel. And you need to know how to consistently communicate the valuable information. People sometimes want to know what products you're selling, what price and terms you apply. And those details must be clearly outlined to your customers. Let's move on because it's a big particular topic right now. Now, there are different ways of doing promotions. Okay, so we've already been able to establish that promotion is where you inform your customer so that they may be interested to come buy. So now these are different ways of promoting. This is the most common and that we all know, advertising. We know this one greatly. We use it, we abuse it, we love it. And advertising is giving information to your customers that makes them more interested in buying your goods or services. That's the information that you're giving to them. Makes them very interested. So now there are different ways you can. And right now I'm going to want to unmute you. Can anyone answer for us this question? Do you do any advertising for your business? What kind of advertising do you do? So you can, this question is open to everybody. Any person wants to answer. What current advertising are you doing for your business? Feel free to answer through the chat, or you can raise your hands and I'll mute you from here. What type of advertising are you doing for your business? I'm waiting for a hand. Anybody? Yesterday you told me of the business that you're doing. Okay, great. So Clarence says Facebook advertising. Thank you so much for Clarence. Definitely, Facebook advertising is a key type of advertising that you want to be able to carry out. Great. Can we get more people sharing the types of advertising that's working for them? Where are you currently advertising your product? Yesterday, Chanju says she does crocheting. We had Shishimba talk about cakes. We had Someone talk about spare parts. Okay, so Pasco says YouTube, amazing. Twitter says Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram, great. Well, it's great to see YouTube as well. It's great to see that people are getting on board, because this is something that has begun to get traction as well within a Zambian space, especially even during the COVID-19 pandemic and the new normal that we are all accustomed to now. WhatsApp, Instagram from Mutinta, definitely platforms that are suitable for advertising. There's a great bias towards Instagram being more of a platform for certain types of businesses, and Facebook as well has got those particular products that it outshines as well. Okay, great. And I love that many of you are giving examples that are online. Mostly I'm covering into the promotional elements. I'm going to tackle more than just online. But I love that you're giving us these great examples. Let's move on. Let me show you now how advertising is set according to the way we teach it. So I'll show you that some of these that you've mentioned under promotion are listed under digital marketing. And let me run you through a few things so that we can move together. So now, these are some of the basic tools for advertising that people utilize. Boards, posters, brochures, leaflets, handouts. We get to use these tools differently, sometimes for events, sometimes to be able to give out a brochure so that people can know the functionalities of your product. Sometimes we look at leaflets, and at some point I never used to know what was the difference between a leaflet and a brochure until I finally looked at them and was able to see, okay, this leaflet is one leaf. A brochure normally has got bifold, trifold. You know, it's a bit more advanced in its appearance and its creative outlook. Handouts as well. And you get to also see the price list as well. There are certain places, like when you go to a restaurant, they're going to give you the price list. And that price list is an advertisement too, because that's where you're going to see different types of meals. You know, this chicken looking really nice, and they even call it roasted granelle, you know. And this other one is these ribs that are looking all nice and juicy, and they call it maybe ribs and maybe barbecue sauce. And just seeing those nice posters, and there's this price that all of a sudden looks, you know, affordable because of how nice that beef is looking on that advertisement. We also see photo albums are used, especially people into the photography business will be able to send you a catalog of some of the works they've done. Business cards. Some of us have never really thought of it as being an advertisement too, but people look at your business cards and think about your business, you know. And let's look at an example here. So we see two examples for Serenade Cafe. So the first one, let me do this. The first one has got black and white coffee, various fruit juices, milkshake, ice creams, and then this other one just says Serenade Garden Cafe, live music every night. Which one would you prefer looking at? The first one or the second one? So just go ahead and type 1 if you're for the first one. Go ahead and type 2 if you're for the second one. Taking note of something here. Which one do you think gives a good impression? Oh, sorry, some of you are seeing answers. Sorry for that. Okay, so let me see. Simba says 2. Great. Okay. All right, since the others are waiting to do the response and time is moving. So definitely 2. Great. Who says 2 as well. And this is why. The one on the left has too much information to make any impact. And that is why today some of the best ads on, thank you so much for that as well, Hongo, adding on, one has a lot of things. Great, on it, great. That's why today some of the best ads, especially when you talk about picture ads, should be ads that don't have too much wording. If you look at the one that we did for you, we tried to minimize the wording. Could have been more, and obviously we could even consistently reduce that wording on it. So the more you can communicate with fewer words, the easier it is for people to see your advertisement. People, for the most part, are lazy and do not want to take time to read stuff. It's more like this psychological barrier that takes the mind on ignore mode when they see too much. And when I do public speaking trainings in one of my capacities, one of the firms that I work with, we emphasize greatly when we talk of our PowerPoints that the power is in the point, and we don't overpopulate most of our PowerPoints. But not going out from here, let's keep on making some progress. Let me move to the other types. There's also branded promotional items. Sometimes this is a way you can do it. When we launched Vodafone in Zambia, and I happened to be part of the team that was forerunning that campaign, one of the things that we did was we had T-shirts. The Jump campaign had T-shirts. Vodafone as a company itself had T-shirts. And those T-shirts were very attractive. And they were suited to the type of market we were targeting. At the time, we were targeting mostly, we had two segments that we targeted greatly. For the most part, we had a serious campaign for students, Then we also had a serious campaign for corporates. Corporates, we had a different approach for corporates. But for the students, T-shirts were the best option, branded T-shirts. We did a lot of stormings at UNZA, at Unilas, at Zikas. Quite a lot of work went there. T-shirts were different, white, red T-shirts with different logos. AMA Levels was painted all over Lusaka. And that was an advertisement move, and it served Vodafone very well in its starting space. And mass media, television, radios, and newspaper. We've been privileged to use radio before. Television is a great option as well, depending on what you're doing. Though nowadays, not so many people are on television. A lot of the audience has moved to social media platforms, and many people are using Facebook videos and YouTube videos to actually promote their goods and products. So there's been quite a phasing of some of these approaches. To move on, there's also very affordable means. So advertising is not always expensive. Sometimes you ought to be creative. There are many innovative ways to advertise that are not expensive. So here's a few examples. So we can see the Green Choice guys who offer affordable, goods. So they offer healthy products, and they sell those in the supermarket. So they have a mascot here. This mascot here is, dressed up with the Green Choice. And one of the advantages is that he's mobile. So as people are walking, you can even be doing a wave to them to say hi, and they get to see that Green Choice option as they enter into the supermarket. Now, it may be easier to sustain this mode of advertisement as opposed to other expensive models like buying radio time and paying for a social media avatar influencer to promote your product. So there could be those inexpensive options that you have over time. Let's make a movement. So the second type of promotion after advertisement is what is known as sales promotion. Now, sales promotion is everything that you do to make customers buy more products when they are already at your business. So there's a difference here. Advertisement will get your customers to come to your business. Okay, you're giving them information to make them want to buy through the flyers, the brochures, through the Green Choice guy who's waving at them, and people decide to go into the supermarket. Now, sales promotion is what you do when they're now within your store, whether it's an online store, it's a physical store, they're within your space, they're within your meeting rooms. That whatever you do there to add extra sales elements is sales promotion. Every activity that goes on there that will result to your customers knowing more about your product and wanting to buy as sales promotions. So these are some sales promotions. Number one are displays, and I've seen this happen a lot. ShopRite, Pick and Pay, they do this greatly, and some stores do this greatly. So these are some things. So a display is the way you arrange your goods in the shop. So a good display is one that makes it easier for customers to see your product so that they can choose which ones they want to buy. How many of us went to any supermarket in the past week? Just go ahead and share with us, because this will be great. If you went to ShopRite, Pick and Pay, perhaps you went to Spar. Those Spar closed at case recently. I don't know if that means it's closed out all out Zambia. Anyone who's been to the supermarkets, the shops, Chipasha says me great. Let's keep on getting some interactions. How many of us in the past week have been to a store? I want us to understand this place. Loretta says me as well. Thank you for that. Anybody else visit a store recently? Okay, Mr. Hezron has raised his hands. Thank you as well. Me from WC Sierra Leone, I believe. Ivan says me great. Thank you so much all. So now the display is an activity that's enhanced to make your sales get promoted more. And these are some strategies as to what benefits it has. When you group similar goods together in your display, for example, you put the cremora next to the coffee, the milk next to the coffee. What this does is that you remind people what they ought to buy with the other thing. So now you can actually make upsells through just doing that in your display. When you set up an e-commerce store online and you've got your product on your store, at times what you need to do is that products that, one, first of all, I always emphasize that your product should have dedicated spaces, but sometimes you can categorize them based on their similarities so that someone can get this and remember to get the next thing. Then your shelf should always look full, especially when it's an offline store. How many of you have entered the shop and you only found little things in the shelves? You know, there's a certain shop that's near where I stay that sometimes doesn't have the shelves full. They really look like their shelves are empty and that their business is badly stocked. And most of the times before I go to the shop, I always ask myself, will I really find what I'm looking for? And that's a big problem if you're to be promoting your product and people are always questioning themselves how reliable you are. So the appearance of your shelves being full is a good thing. Of course, those who sell digital products really don't have this as a big problem. As well for services at times. Show the front of the packages. If you have a retail shop, people have to come into it. Normally, the front of the packages are brighter and attractive, and it will make customers be more interested. And if they see their favorite goods, they'll be attracted to buy those particular goods. Another way of promoting and doing sales promotion is that you show the prices clearly. I do not like when I'm in a shop and I'm looking at something, but I can't see the prices. If I'm in ShopRite and I ever found such a situation, I'll definitely call one of the staff people and say, how much is this? And we shouldn't like having to go start finding out. You see this nice product that you want to buy, but then even though you want to buy it, you don't know the price. So your prices should be clear. Now, we showed you how you need to go through your funnels in a previous segment. So as you funnel the people from Facebook, you haven't yet put that amount right there. You've taken them to your landing page where you now review the prices. That must be clear, okay? When they're in your shop, it must be clear. It's not allowed for the shop to have prices that are not clear. In your ad, sometimes like your leaflets, you can mention what you have and the benefits. But at your store, it's unacceptable to not be able to communicate the prices in a clear form. Put goods where they can easily be seen, okay? Then there's also what is known as special displays. This may apply if you're selling something in a shop. If you do auto repairs from a shop, there may be certain special displays where you can sell those more regular goods or seasonal goods. Something that someone definitely must know, they must find at a supermarket or a bakery. So there should always be those special displays. Having done that, let's quickly move on as well to more ideas for sales promotion. These ones also can work on an online market, by the way. For example, let customers try new products. This happens greatly for applications. you're going to find they're going to tell you to say, go for free trial. That's a sales promotion. They are trying to get you to have a taste of it. And then once you have a taste of it, you will want more after some time. There are some of you probably who started using platforms like LinkedIn Learning, or you started using platforms like Netflix or Audible, or different platforms like Evancho, or went ahead to use other platforms there, but you started first with a free trial. And then after some time, you're like, oh, let me get to upgrade now because I want other facilities. So sometimes this is the way you can do it. So this is good for certain products that, for example, you can be fine to scale it up a bit. Some of you mentioned that you're doing cakes yesterday. It means that sometimes you can do cake testing so that people can test the beauty of your cakes. And remember, this is promotion, so don't go do cake testing to people who won't buy your products. I've seen some cake testing events where I asked myself to say, for this type of cake, I think they were feeding the wrong people. But people will still eat. I mean, it's free cake. But you need to be able to target. If you intend to sell wedding cakes, know who to go feed. You're probably pretty much you're focusing on people who want to get married. So go and advertise on sites that deal with marriages and weddings, and maybe just post in the comment sections. So as people are reading comment sections, you just go and drop your advertisement to your page. You know, someone is laughing in the group saying, feeding the wrong people. True, it happens. You feed the wrong people and you've wasted your promotional effort. You invested quite a lot. And you need to be careful about that. Who do you give your free trial, your free consultations? There must be people who are most likely to buy. You know, Immaculate says, I've seen a lot of people posting products on FB, and when someone asks for the price, they always ask that the customers to DM them. What's your comment on this? So someone asks for the price, and then they always ask them to say, DM me. Well, I've also seen this happening online for the most part. Now, you find that the challenge that those people have is that they just put, for example, something that they like. That's something that they're selling online, but they don't make their immediate call to action clear. And I'm going to look at that a bit tonight. I do understand their model when they talk about saying, someone is adding to say it's inconvenience and makes one lose interest easily. I do understand where they're coming from in the psychology, but then they don't really do it very well. The first thing you want to do is that if you're going to put up a product online, you want someone to be able to follow you themselves. If you have to go up and begin to ask them, it means that you did not tailor your messaging correctly. Because I understand where they're coming from, trust me, but then it means that they're going to sell a lot online, but they're not going to give a clear, convenient next step. If I was to put something online, I would be able to put it and say, okay, maybe for example, let me just say I'm selling a phone, right? And obviously I wouldn't want to use that as an option, but if I'm selling a phone online, I'm going to be able to put it online. I'm going to put a catchy headline about the phone to say, get to experience the power of HD all in your phone. Maybe I'm trying to advertise this camera as the latest, as the best, as the biggest value you get from it. Then I go ahead and build in some quick story and then talk about its content. But then I'm going to say that I can quote to say, if you are interested, click here to know the price. And someone will click and go find that price. So I'll put a landing page. I'm always a fan of landing pages rather than asking someone to DM me. That's a longer process. Someone should have the power within themselves to go make that decision. So once they click to my landing page, they are going to find all the information that they need. But probably on my landing page, I have put in extra incentive for them to still want to buy from me. So I understand the psychology that's at play there, but the fact that they have a method that brings the customer to then start trying to ask for it, it means they're not yet finalizing their funnel. I think that's my comment, and I hope that helps. And time. Awesome. I hope that helps. Immaculate, let me get some feedback and Shipper as well. When we look at tonight's session, I think tonight you will have more of these questions answered. I'll show you a lot. We're looking at call to actions in the next segment, and I'll show you why that's important. Okay, great. You're going to learn how to do that. Okay, great. Awesome. Have lucky draws. Sometimes if you're doing webinars, or if you're selling services, products, courses, digital products, sometimes you might want to set up competitions to get more people psyched about it. Even if you're selling different products, like you mentioned, the spare parts, the loans, sometimes you might want to be able to say there's a lucky draw for all our customers. Okay. And due to time, let me move on. Like I said, promotion is huge. You can give demonstrations. Some of us have walked into ShopRite or Pick and Pay, and we found them. Maybe Roy Co is serving some rolls with some soup, or you find that. I remember when kombucha was out, they were doing free testing with kombucha, and all that is a sales promotion. So as you walk into ShopRite, you test their drinks, and by the time you're going out, you're probably taking 5 or an entire case of their drinks because you tasted it, you liked it, and they then told you if you go to the section there, actually we have a promotion where you are able to get 6 for the price of 4. And before you know it, you didn't even know about the drink, but you've ended up buying an entire case. This happens. I remember buying kombucha because of a demonstration. And sometimes that also works with the free giveaways. I've seen someone post about the free giveaways. So yes, lucky draws can be close to that, but what's more closer is the demonstration. A free giveaway sometimes demonstrates the value that you can add to someone's life. Okay, so that could be one way to go about it, especially for a service business. But for a business with a product, free tasting or free use or free try, those also help a lot. Okay, so we've looked a lot about promotions. You can sell products that go together. I mentioned a bit of this. So for example, here someone is buying a torch, and then the person at the till tells them, have you bought batteries for that watch? So before they know it, they've made an upsell and promoted the batteries also. Great, so now I'm gonna stop sharing this for a while, right after I just talk a bit into digital marketing. So now digital marketing is what we're gonna focus on a whole lot today. So digital marketing refers to the use of internet to communicate information about your business. So whatever information you're communicating via the internet is referred to digital marketing. So some of the strategies we shared on how you can do your sales promotions and advertisements, there's a digital version of them online. But the entire process online is digital marketing. So you can still do posters and flyers online. Okay, they've become digitized as methods of being able to advertise and promote businesses. For example, you can do those demonstrations online now with virtual going on. You can be able to do those free giveaways, those quizzes, those particular draws online. So now anything done online is brought into the package of digital marketing. And we are doing this e-marketing, which really speaks into this main existence. Websites, we talked about them a bit here over the past 2 days, and now in the third day. We talked about websites, and I really have specified how landing pages are the best websites these days. Social media, we've talked a lot, and most of you talked about how you're already doing a lot of promotion on social media through different platforms like YouTube, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Facebook. With that said, allow me to stop sharing for now and go back to our PowerPoint. Allow me to share our PowerPoint and get to look at the next P. The others are shorter. So the next one is people. Now, people are the 5th P of marketing. And if you go to the IYB manual from pages 65 to 78, you get to do that. I'm just going to cover up part of it. Then I'll quickly move on because I can see time is racing with us tonight. Find time to go through this manual. So we're going to quickly look at how important people are in marketing, how to identify the key people that make your business different, and improving your skills as a salesperson. So 3 things. How important are people in marketing? So now you could have got your product right, you could have got your pricing right, the placement is right, and you're doing promotion great. But what about the people that work with you? Because the 5th P here talks about the people that work with you to get the product and eventually sold. So if you own a store, it could be the cashier, or it could be the sales people that are doing the telecalling. It could be all those people that are working through the process. If, like, for example, with Vodafone, there was the customer care service, there were the brand ambassadors, there were the sales, what were we calling them again? Retail sales assistants. So now the people are a very key part of the marketing process. So let's quickly look at the manual again and then be able to share some insights. Okay, so people. So make sure you do those activities on promotion as well. Okay. I hope okay, great. Sorry, just a minute. I think I moved too fast so that I can share. Awesome. Here's an example on the first thing being how important people are in marketing. So this is a guest house. So now a customer asks this question: can you make me up? I believe this was supposed to be wake me up early tomorrow at 5 a.m. And Orchid Guest House, the person at the receptionist says, yes, sir. All right. Now a different scenario is here. Customer goes to Rose Guest House and says, can you wake me up early tomorrow at 5 a.m.? And the receptionist here goes like this: sure. Would you like us to prepare a breakfast box? Which one of the 2 guest house would you rather go to? Rose Guest House or Orchid Guest House? Let me see some in the comment box. Let me just see some comments there. One says, yes, sir. The other one says, sure. Would you like a breakfast box with that as well? Okay, I see Rose coming in so far, like Rose. Definitely Rose. Like Rose remembered breakfast, you know. So it becomes very key because food is important, Loretta says. Definitely important. And that just adds extra value. So the people play an important role. Sometimes customers would have been interested all along until they meet the person that's attending to them. And all of a sudden, a U-turn becomes obvious. How many of us have ever seen something, you liked it, and you even went to the store to go buy, maybe even buying a gift? I remember me and a friend of mine, I excluded a friend of mine, to go buy a gift. So he saw it online, he liked how it was looking, we even drove there, only to reach at the shop. And the attitude of the person there, we did like. So they ticked all the boxes, but the people were the challenge. So now, how good of a salesperson are you? How good of a customer care person are you? What skills do you possess to make the selling of your product better? It becomes very important. If you work as a team, make sure that you're enhancing those qualities in you. Because when you've done all this advertisement, for example, one of the reasons why you get offended by someone telling you, DM me for information, it doesn't make sense. The better approach would be, if you ask for the price, they DM you the price. That should be the way. Now, how rude is it someone asks for the price and you say DM me? That's another way around that. If you don't have a landing page, my comment is that at the very least, when someone shows interest, either respond in the comment section, but if you do not want everybody to see the price so that you have enough room to explain, you DM every person that actually texts you. That's the better way to do it, because people is important. Immaculate and Shifra, how would you feel if someone DM'd you? That situation where you ask for the price, would it feel much better? What are your opinions since you asked that question? Would you feel much better than they tell you DM me? Yeah, like they are the president. I want to get feedback, especially that the two of you commented. If the others want to comment, please go ahead and show some comment. Which one would be a better approach? She first says, yes, I would feel better if they did. Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for that feedback. I believe it's a better approach because now the people element comes in. Even Immaculate agrees. Great. So people become a very important fit. So you see, you're already interested in the product you saw online. You even went to ask about the price. But what now put you off was someone telling you to say, DM me. And Chishimba says, I would feel important if they did. So now we all agree that now people are very important. So now how do you respond to your customers when they ask you questions? Or when you call your customer, do you take time to listen to them, really know their needs? One of the things we value highly at Make Life is we want to really listen to our customer. What exactly do they need? And that's why we've been asking you to really fill in those evaluation forms. We value your feedback. It helps us improve our offerings and make sure that you are happy every time. We want to make sure that when you come on board for any of our trainings, we have a training that's coming up that I believe many of you won't want to miss. It's called the Africa Indispensable Training. We are doing 10 skills training courses, and we've dubbed it as phasing off obsolete skills and promoting the cutting edge modern skills for a new normal. So we've listed the 10 skills that are required for now. Now, picture you're going to come for that. You'd obviously want some of your suggestions perhaps being put into the better rollout of that program. I believe most of you would appreciate that. So people become important in the process. Having said that about people, there's quite some activities here. There's now a way to identify the key people that make your business different. Because of this, I'll just be able to quickly look at this and just narrate to you the Sawadi restaurant experience. So Sawadi is the person we looked at in the first day. The other person that was positioning their business as a Thai food restaurant. And now being a Thai food restaurant, one of the things that she's done is she's hired a Thai chef to further add the mix, and all her employees dress up in Thai clothing and greet the people with, you know, Thai greetings, just so that they could enhance, because she knows the people that are coming to her store are people that like Thai food. So the kind of people she's put in her restaurant are people that are in line with her position. Never forget the positioning is important. If you're doing auto spares, make sure you have got people who have knowledge about auto spares, because the next thing you want is you don't want someone to come ask you about a clutch plate or ask someone who's working in your company and then they bring for them another particular spare. That's going to be very, very bad for the company. So that's how you pick people. Be able to ensure that, one, they fall with your positioning. Very key. If you're doing a smartphone, for example, like Katira, as we talked about her, she must be able to hire smart people who are sharp, who can literally learn the qualities of a phone quickly and explain them to customers, the new functions. So you need smart people sometimes for certain products, people who can learn, people who can read, people who can study. At Make Life, we greatly value people who study, who read, who are people who can really, really get information in, because most of what we do is information, it's knowledge, it's skills. So that's something we greatly value. Okay, so that being said, you need to be able to improve your skills as a salesperson. Okay, so now these are two examples, and I'll quickly run through this about two types of salespersons. One is bad, the other one is good. The first one is here, customer by the name of Modis. This man here comes and says, good afternoon. But this saleswoman is on the newspaper and on the phone and not paying attention. This is again situation, he's come and she starts greeting a friend, or the customer comes with time. Ah, nice to see you, Jao. How are you doing? And Modis is shocked here. He's like, how are you doing that to me? I'm standing. And many of us have never liked that. You go to a shop and the person who's selling to you is paying attention to other things. And sadly, many government offices have got people who behave very badly. The only thing is that sometimes we still buy or we still stay because, well, we need it. It's the government. But it shouldn't be like that, you know. But there are also some government offices that you go to and you find some great reception, and who appreciate such. Now, let's look at another example here. So this is to the same negative example. So what are you doing for the weekend? She's busy talking on the phone. Her friend Jen has called, and the customer is waiting. Excuse me, can I have a look at the paraffin lamp? He's asking. Sure, they are over there. I like how this case scenario puts it. And this person answers, no, they're over there. A customer asks you, what is the price? DM me. I'll keep using that tonight. It's made to be DM me. Bad salesperson. Instead of offering to go show you the paraffin lamp, how does it work? How should I know? That's the response. Where is there someone else who can show me? No, not now. We are closing. Come back tomorrow. And this is bad. We get sent out of so many offices. I won't mention them because they are powerful. They'll tell you it's lunchtime. Can you go outside? Can't you see I'm eating? And you get shocked. You've got money to pay them, and they treat you like that. You definitely look for any place that's an alternative to buy. What could only make you buy there is if they're the only place you can pay for. So that's about the people and how you can become a better salesperson. A good example is this. Good afternoon, sir. Can I help you? And then this is the response. Yes, please. I'm looking for a paraffin lamp. We have two models. This lamp is covered and has a handle. Would this be useful for you, Mr. Modis? I think I want something bigger. Then her phone rings. And guess what she does? So she picks up the phone call and says this. Good afternoon, Imara Hardware. Hello, I cannot talk now. Let me call you after work. Goodbye. This is treating the customer with respect. They're going to want to stay longer, not you stay on the phone. It's not bad to pick up the phone if it's a work line and you're mandated to pick it up. It's a potential customer. But you can say, excuse me, let me just tell this customer to call me later. Pick it up and say, hi, sorry, we're going to call you right back. We're going to call you right back just right now and be able to attend to you. It's a better way to do it. Or depending on what you think, you could be able to, but make sure that the customer who's present with you in the shop is treated the best. It's worse to ignore the customer present than for you to quickly apologize to the customer that's calling to tell them, we will call you in a minute. Then you actually escort the person to show them. So this is the one for 45 and the smaller one is this price. So this is the better way to be a salesperson. That being said, I'm going to conclude this session on people so that I can quickly run through the next P, which I'm going to go quickly to our slides once I can ensure that I've set it here. We're going to quickly look at process. So I'm going to stop sharing this slide and go back to our PowerPoint. So we're going to look at process now. So now you've managed to know about people, you've worked on the people who work with you. Now the process is important. So now process is the sixth P of the marketing. It refers to the procedures or processes that are developed to ensure that the customer has a positive and memorable experience when purchasing or using your product. So the process that you can add to your product when they purchase it, when they're using it. For example, it could be you checking up on your customer. It could be you being able to find out, do you need any more assistance? That process is important. If they're in the shop, you can ask them, are you finding what you're doing? That which they do to you when you go to a shop like Mad, Jet, Woolworth, wherever you shop from, and you know the person comes to you, Madam, are you finding this place pleasant? Are you being able to find what you're looking for? Yes, I'm doing this. Then they even ask you, by the way, do you have the leather belts? Because your process is built to ensure that the customer has a good experience. Not that the customer walks in and you ignore them. If you own a restaurant, there are places that I love going to. For example, I've eaten at Spa Steak Ranches quite a bit now. And I always love that they always come back and find out, are you enjoying your meal right now? That's one of the things for me that stood out back when I started going there. I love their steaks. I can even market them now. I love their ribs and their steaks, yeah? And they have this great customer care in their process. They make it memorable. They make the experience of purchasing their product great. And that should be part of your process. When someone buys a phone from you, when they get home, call them. How are you finding the experience? Great. Are you ever having any challenges? No, so far it's happening. It's working right. Okay, just let us know. If you have any assistance, need any assistance, give us a call. That customer will always think about coming to you. You're selling auto spares. Have a process. Take your customers' names, get to contact them with time, find out, and send them emails. We're now in a digital age. So enhance your process. Don't stop giving them information, value at any given point in time. Two things that you need to know about process is why process is important and how to improve your processes. So quickly, let's have a look at this, and then we'll be done, and then we're quickly going to go to the second slide. Once I just stop sharing this, just a minute. And then let me share. Let me share the, so just let's get a look at this together. And I'm gonna ask a question at some point, so just be ready. So here is Kuku Restaurant. So now a man comes, hey, I've been waiting for ages. Why do they get the food before me, even though they came in after me? How many of us have ever gone to a restaurant and you got served later than people that were being served? Or maybe you are in the shop right queue and then you find that you are standing waiting to be served. Someone comes after you and they serve them. How does that make you feel? Can I get some comments? How do you feel, when it's the worst, right? Yeah, it's the worst. So it says, this is the worst. It feels bad. Yeah, you're hungry. And hungry lion, your picture. Someone says hungry lion, and you've ordered, your receipt tells you it's maybe 142. And then you come and see someone who's got 155, get the meal before you. You start wondering, and then you go and ask 142, and they tell you not yet. It feels bad. And this is a process problem. Emmanuel says painful. Super says disappointing. So now, to avoid such things from happening, what you need is a process. Now, there could be many reasons as to why this happened. So let's review some of those reasons. All right. So these are some of the reasons. Number one, it could be that the waiter did not take the order from the earlier arrival until after he or she took an order from the other table. So it could be that the waiter made that mistake. Or maybe at Hungry Lion, when they punched the receipt, the one who was taking the receipt decided to take the one which was at the top instead of the one at the bottom. And they put that. So now if they're not reminded consistently that always make sure you get the bottom receipts that are printed out so that you save them in that line. So once there's a mishap in the process, there's bad customer care and someone will be upset. It's always that way. Another thing that could have happened is that the waiter forgot to give the order to the kitchen. This is the worst. I can imagine that customer ordered his ribs and the waiter forgot. That would be bad. And he sees people getting served all around him. He probably will never get back there, right? Or perhaps the food ordered by the customer who arrived first takes longer time to prepare than that which is ordered by the customer who came later. Obviously, for Hungry Lion, the food is the same. This wouldn't apply, right? But then, say for a place like Mang and Bean or a place like Spa that actually has to prepare your food on demand, they would have to at least tell you to say, oh, your meal may take a bit of some time, 15 minutes. They always told me that as part of they told me, okay, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I love when I'm told that. Even this other place I like, Gourmet, they always communicate that to me. They'll tell me to say, okay, we're gonna give you that. Occasionally when they don't do that, it registers for me. So how to improve your process? So there are several ways to look at a process or like really begin to improve it. So now in this manual, we look at processes from a marketing point of view, and which is to care about the customer's experience during each step of the delivery process. One of the things we normally consult for is how you build your right customer journey. So there's quite a lot of detail here. I would ask you to go reading. Time is not with us tonight, but definitely this is going to help you out, build for you the base So go look at the different ways and carry out these activities. Allow me to stop sharing here and quickly go to our PowerPoint to wrap it up on the P's. And then we look at the strategies for selling online. I think that's something that many of you are also looking forward to. The last P is physical evidence. And this is what physical evidence is. Physical evidence is, sorry, I think there should have been a typo here. Okay, let me do this. So for physical evidence, what is physical evidence is what we're going to look at, and how to create your physical evidence. So now, physical evidence, for example, and I'll stop sharing this and go to the menu, is where if you go to someone and tell you that they are a doctor, right? But then the time they're attending to you, they're in flip-flops, they are putting on a vest. It's going to be very difficult for you to trust that doctor. They tell you, no, we have come to our clinic. And when you go to their clinic, you find them in flip-flops and all that. So now physical evidence normally is the view that your customer has of your business. Something that they can see, they can test, they can smell. That really is the physical evidence part, the tangible part. Sometimes people ask you, do you have an office? Do you have a website? We had to put down our website initially to rebrand it, and it's still in process, so that it could become higher, because we used to have one for ML consulting, and when we rebranded clearly, we said we need to optimize that. But those are things that become very, very key. Do you have a business card? So now for physical evidence, so let me just go to that. Okay, so here. So physical evidence. So this is a good example that we have this on. Sorry, my slides kind of went back. So now, take a look at these guys here, these two fellas, right? One is dressed very shabby. The other one is dressed very smart. Now there's a question that's posed here. Which salesman would you let in your house to collect your parcel? Is it number one or number two? Let me get some feedback. These are the salespeople. Who would you let into your house to deliver your parcel? The one who's number one with that nice bag, or the one who's number two? Okay, I get the 60% number two. Okay, why would you do number two? Anyone say number two? Kindly just also share why you would go for number two. Why would you let number two in your house rather than number one? Thank you, Azochi Shimba and Edson saying number two. He looks trustworthy and responsible. Thank you. Exactly that. They look responsible and trustworthy. You can see it from his hairstyle. You can see it from his shirt, his shoes. This one has put on some tough sneakers. His bag looks like he can take, he can take your groceries or swipe your phone on his way out. Sometimes it looks presentable. Thank you so much. So this is physical evidence. So your physical evidence must align with your positioning. If you're selling a premium product, you better look premium. That's just how it is. If whatever you're selling, you need to upgrade your level of physical evidence. Obviously, when you're starting, because of limited resources as a startup, you may not do it exceptional to the level that you want. But make sure that in the little that you have, you still look presentable, responsible, like you put it, because all that you can need to do is just press that trousers, make sure that shirt is great, right? And that will go a long way. Then you go put on this shirt that looks wrinkled and doesn't look fit, it's a cargo short, it becomes very important. So that's the physical evidence. And sometimes people may have done all these other 6, right? But they miss on the physical evidence. Even when you're online, make sure you post content that is in line with what you do. You'll never find anything bad on my Facebook. My name is Mapalo Lokashi. You can go on my Facebook. Because of the works we do at Make Life, I represent the brand wherever I go. My Facebook never carries funny things, whether it's my official page, it's my personal page. You won't find something funny because the physical evidence on my page may end up affecting my customers. This is why the government takes seriously the behavior of also ministers, MPs, because if they allow certain things to go on, it affects the overall image. And so that's why those things become key observations. So you have to align yourself with your product's position. So this is how you create your physical evidence. So a good example here is that if you have a clear position, you will know what physical evidence to create your customer. Like I said, if you know what your position, you will do that. So Sunshine Bakery, which we had looked at, targets office workers who walk by the shop on their way to work. So this is what they've done. The shop looks quite attractive with a Sunshine Bakery logo. So they got a logo done by a good designer on the wall and a variety of items shown tidily through the glass display. The last thing you want is for a food place to look untidy and unrepresentable. I once asked this when I was taking a class with entrepreneurs, that what would happen if you went to a shop like Hungry Lion and maybe that day you like the chicken and everything, but then there's a bad sewer scent? Would you want to stay and eat your food there? You'd probably leave, right? So now it means that there's certain places that must have fresh aroma and fresh and clean areas. So it is important. The notice board is made of wood with a Sunshine logo on the top. The simple handwriting font makes it easy to read, and also the picture of the menu item looks appetizing. Let's move on to another example. Here she also has wrappers with the logo and all that going on. So there's some activities for you to look at as well here. Now you see there's assessment. You can look at this assessment in your own time. And that brings us to the end. So we have covered the entire manual, only a few places for you to go do activities. And please make sure you make use of this material. Trust me, this material is valued highly. Like we told you, this course is expensive to be able to take. This is a once-off thing that we did, but because we know the value and we want this to benefit people. And I'm going to stop sharing this and going to go into our next session. But before I do, are there any questions that I can take in line with what we are from covering? Any questions for me and the team? Or everything is clear for now? We can go on. It is clear. Go ahead and type in clear, and we quickly run through. Great, thank you. So we've got less than 40 minutes to be done. Don't worry, this presentation is great, and we're going to cover it, and you have the recording. So selling strategies. Thank you for the class coming in. Selling strategies, day 3. This is how you're going to sell online. These work. The first thing that we talked, this is what we promised you that we're going to cover. We told you that we're going to cover call to actions, payment gateways, landing pages, sales automation. Great. So call to actions, payment gateways, landing pages, and sales automation. So we're going to start with call to actions. So now, what is a call to action? So a call to action is something that you really need to understand. A call to action is where you ask your customer to make a decision, okay? For the most part, a call to action is asking. And let me put it clearly like that. This is asking. Many people make a problem of advertising online. You're going to do well, your poster looks catchy, you've done well on the creatives, but people see it, but they don't know the next thing to do. If you're on a site, you want to be able to guide your customer what next. And before I get into more detail, I want to move this sequentially. So this is what we're going to look at. We're going to look quickly at the importance of call to actions, how to use call to actions, and popular types of call to actions. These 3 things: the importance of call to actions, how to use call to actions, and popular types of call to actions. We can see a nice image of the Wix sites. Wix sites is a platform that allows people to build websites. There's free website options with Wix that you can run, and you can also go for their pay plans as well. So now, when you go to their site, they always have a nice big button. And in this example, they put get started. because that's what they want you to do. Customers want to know what they should do, from what they should expect to do. So the first thing, the importance of call to actions. This is why it's important. There's a scripture I like and it explains very well. Ask and you shall be given. It's very, very true. After you've told me about your product, you've done all the marketing piece and everything, I'm in your shop, you need to ask me. When you go to the counter at Hungry, and what do they tell you? Tell you, what will you be ordering, sir? You know, what would you get, sir? They're asking you now to say, order something. When you go to the restaurant, they'll put the menus on your table and they'll tell you to say, have you made your order? And they'll put this way, can I take your order? Now, online platforms also have call to actions. There's some examples there that we're going to look at it as well, more detailed. Download now, contact now, shop now, upload, register now, search now. Sometimes I've seen people put some ads online, but there's no call to action. So what you're simply doing is informing them. In life, you need to learn how to ask. If you want people to buy something, ask them to buy. If you want people to register, ask them to register. Okay? So a call to action is a marketing term for any device. Okay? That's one thing you must know. It's that term that is known out there. So now you always must ask a call to action for your customer. So if they see this ad, whether you go with the quiz funnels, the picture funnels that we shared yesterday, we talked of the video funnels. In your video at the end, I showed you how to do copy. Your pitch must always have your call to action. Go down below to click to buy. Go down below to register for a free webinar. Click the following link to download your free copy of your book. Always ask someone to do something. The reason is this, the other important, that you psychologically incite a decision process. If you do not have a call to action, what happens is that the person is just being informed. But the moment you ask them to shop now, you have psychologically steered up a response in their mind to start making a decision. And when we are making decisions, we normally weigh pros and cons. But when you don't have a call to action, you are simply informing them, and they can look at your ad, they'll say, oh, it's a nice picture, and they'll slide. But they see the picture and it tells them to say, click here to register for a free consultation. Click here or search now. Contact us right away. You know, there must always be a call to action. If you are to sell online, it's simple. Ask and you shall be what? Given. When we do telecalls as another medium that you can use to get your sales, you need to always come to a point where you call to action. Are you proceeding to make payment? That's a call to action. So learn to ask your customers. Don't be afraid to ask. At the end of the day, when you're in business, you're there to sell. If you're confident in what you're selling, you shouldn't be hard for you to ask, because you know that the person will be helped greatly. So do not. How many of us from today are saying, I will always put call to actions? Go ahead and type in yes. You have learned to ask and receive. How many of us are going to start from today? Whatever ad you put online, you're always going to guide the customer on what to do next. How many of us are saying me? Quickly, just go ahead because of time. Kindly just respond. Everyone says raise hand. Great. Yes, yes. Going on for Congo. Thank you, all those of you responding. Always have a call to action. If you send an email, guide them next. Whenever you don't put a call to action, it's simply information. So with your call to actions, it's really designed for you to have an immediate response. You don't want your customer to dwell long just looking at the information. So always ask them. When they start thinking of buying, that's a good thing. At Hungry, they normally also ask you to say, do you have large fries? You know, that's a call to action meant to do an upsell. If they didn't ask you that, trust me, you're okay with the normal big bite. Right? They'll tell you, are you getting a drink with that? They're simply asking you, and that's what causes sales. People buy when they're asked. Start asking. Great to see that many of you are saying yes. So how to use call to actions? First and foremost, they must be bold and clear. Someone must be able to see. If you're doing it on WhatsApp, you can put the asterisk so that it's in bold letters. People must be able to know, click down, click the link below to register for your webinar, click the link below to buy, click the link below to make a payment. Make it bold and type. So on the website, the landing page, they should be bold. You can see Wix had a nice big orange, bright colored button saying get started. It must be repetitive. If you're doing it in an article, do it in more places than one, unless it's a short space. Whenever we're doing very long sales copy, because we want to talk about value, what we do is we put the call to actions in many places so that those who are lazy in reading will still click it. Once they're already interested with the headline, they'll just click. So you want it to be repetitive. Don't always put it at the far end. Make it visible in an open space. Don't put it where it's crowded. So this is how you should do your call to actions. Sometimes you can put the heading and the next thing is a call to action. Then you talk about it a bit, another call to action. You talk about it again, another call to action. So if you want them to register, make it clear. Register now. Sign up now. Apply now. Be clear, be bold, repetitive, and visible. Let's move on. Popular types of call to actions today. Buy now. Some of you says, okay, I've never done this before. Give me ideas. I have given you almost close to Z. There's buy now. Apply now. If you're doing a course, a training, school, education, someone talked about education yesterday. If you're doing that, you can use apply now. Buy now if you're selling anything online, a car, spare parts. You can say buy now. Make them know the next step. Sign up today. If you run programs online, or even if you're doing an online tutorials, you can say sign up today, register here. If you're taking registrations for an event and you want pre-registrations, shop now. If you have an e-commerce store, shop now is a great thing, because what you're telling the person in their mind is that possibly buy more than one thing. So shop now is different from buy now, because buy now is a specific thing that you buy. Shop now, you want them to be able to add to their cart. Get now. If you're doing a free book, you can always put that get now. If you're offering a deal, use the words like get now. Okay, get your deal now. So when you talked about an amazing deal for you, it gets to have a camera phone, a this, a that, a that, a that. Get now. Always go to your go-to action, because ask and you shall be what? Given. Inside that psychological response of a person to buy. Otherwise, you'll do everything okay, and all the product needs will be okay. But if you can't ask your customer to buy, you miss it. Sometimes it may be send a message. If you want to interact with your customers, you can ask them to say, send us a message. For any assistance, feel free to call us. Get to call us. Send us a message. Click below. Let's move on and show you more examples. Download now. For if you're doing applications, make that nice big bold color. Download now on your page. Or even if it's on Facebook, on Instagram, put some nice colors, some arrows, and say download now. Get free consultation. You know, if you're doing any consultancy service work, you can do free consultation. It's a button. It can be put on your ad when you've done the sales copy. Remember, I ran you through 5 steps to a winning sales copy: headline, story, content, transition, and the pitch. The pitch is where the call to action comes. Register here. Learn more. On Facebook, when you use the Facebook ads, they'll always give you options. They actually have tailored the types of buttons you can put. Sign up, apply now. You can't really design your own button with the buttons that they have. They've automated that for the ones which have the highest engagement. Join today, contact now, get a quote or get quote. Some of you have seen that before. More of them is subscribe. If you have got a subscription service, book us now. If you are doing a hotel service business, play now. If it's a game or it's something, search now, upload, bookmark us now, order now, pay now. I think this one is different from buy now. Pay could be when you're talking about an event. Pay now. So those are like 25. Now the next thing is payment gateway. So we've done the first, which are call to actions. Now payment gateways are very important for sales online. So now a payment gateway is a merchant service. Okay, so a merchant is a person that is doing sales. You're a merchant. You're a merchant because you're selling merchandise. So as a person who's selling online, you're a merchant. So now a payment gateway is a service that you can use provided by an e-commerce application service provider. So there are service providers out there that provide payment gateways as a service to merchants like you and me. And this helps us to, the payment gateway's goal is to authorize credit cards, direct payments, or processing e-business online and e-business transactions. So there are different types of e-commerce application service providers, but in the next portion of this, I want to focus on those that are relevant in Zambia today, because I want this to be as relatable as possible. But you can see in this particular picture here, there's Visa, MasterCard, 2C, Citi. These are the credit cards that are processed by payment gateways. But some of the popular payment gateways are PayPal, but in Zambia, we don't really have that being used greatly. There's Stripe. If you try paying in other places, you'll find Stripe as another payment gateway. You know you're going to find CashPal. But now let's go to the next slide. What we'll look at is picking your payment gateway and relevant gateways in Zambia today. Because I want you to be able to set up some of these payment gateways. Those of you paid within 24 hours, next week we're going to be able to have conversation, and then we'll be able to help you set up your Flutterwave store, which is a provider of a massive payment gateway. In Zambia, I believe they're the next big thing where payment gateways are involved. Their headquarters are based in the US, but they originally started in Nigeria. I'm going to talk a bit more about them. Let me focus on our agenda. Oh, okay, my audio, I hope my audio is getting better. Kindly confirm if my audio is getting better. It could have been the network for a moment. Some people say my audio is not clear. How is it now? Kindly just confirm. Kaongo, kindly confirm if my audio is more clear now. And anyone can get me, it's manageable. Okay, great. All right. I hope it will stabilize again. I hope the recording will have it audible enough. You have to forgive technology over time sometimes. It could be the network. Well, thank you for that, Kaongo, and that feedback. What we will look at, picking your payment gateway, relevant gateways in Zambia today. So this is how you pick your payment gateway. Firstly, you want to pick a payment gateway that's popular with the target market. Now, let me be honest with you. In Zambia, payment gateways is a new thing. And that's why the next slide is going to be very helpful for you. But you want to pick a payment gateway which is popular with the target market. There are people who are fine paying with credit cards. People like me, I love, so with Visa cards, I make a whole lot of purchases with Visa. I'm very comfortable with that. I buy a whole lot of courses. I don't just train courses. I'm an enthusiast about learning. I have more certificates and trainings than I can. I stopped counting. Now I just learn for the sake of knowledge. I actually value knowledge more than I value certifications these days. So now I pay a lot with my Visa, all right? And normally payment gateways allow you to do that. So you need to know what's popular to your target market. And we've talked about how you find your target market through market segmentation and being able to know who your target market is. So find out ways they're able to pay. Remember, this course is focusing on online sales. So there's obviously a way you can get the payment done. Then the payment gateway must be easy to use, okay? People get tired fast. They don't like something that's difficult and complicated. They can get started, but immediately they start getting confused, their desire to buy from you drops. So you don't want to lose people. You made a call to action, they go to your landing page, and the payment gateway is very hard to use. Fast transaction. It shouldn't take too long. It shouldn't, you know, there's some payment gateways that start telling you, enter your name, enter your email, enter your contact number. I think those three are enough. But then they start telling you to say now, enter your location, enter your date of birth. Like, those processes are too much. Depending on the type of payment they are making, sometimes you don't even need to know their name. But sometimes you may get that. So you really need to know what, fill out any information on the payment gateway. That's not necessary. One page is better than redirect. People often want to stay on the same page. That's why if you can integrate your payment gateway on your website or landing page, it's even better. That's something that we look to do. Sometimes we go with a redirect because of convenience, but sometimes the optimum is to have a one-page conversion. They're buying and they can do it right there and then and not be redirected to another page. Moving to time, these are some relevant payment gateways and alternatives in Zambia. Now you see Airtel Money and MTN Money are not really payment gateways as such, but in Zambia they are, in my experience, in the experience of Make Life team, and in all the businesses I've helped, even though you give people options to pay with Visa, in Zambia mostly, people are comfortable with Airtel Money, MTN Money. Most of us on this program today preferred to actually pay through these models. But we believe that as time goes on, platforms like Flutterwaves are beginning to get traction. And if you sell products to outside markets, like we do advertise places outside Zambia as well, we focus on a platform that can easily convert currency, that can easily get other options. So Flutterwave also has Visa, MasterCard, and also has got MTN mobile money currently. You can pay through that. There was Mr. Hezron who I think wanted to pay through Flutterwave initially. So we had to go and reactivate the Momo account, and then they did that. And then you can pay through the MTN. So now they're looking to get Airtel Money on board. So now if you want to start selling outside Zambia, definitely get on Flutterwave. If you're selling within Zambia alone, give alternatives like Airtel Money and MTN Money for payments. Now, you can either use your personal account, but depending on who you're selling to, sometimes you may want to get a business account. Now, the problem with a business account, there are two options you can do. Either you get an agent SIM, but then that's going to be a long process, or you go register with Airtel Money so that they register you on goods and services. So when you do your USSD, there's an option to go to goods and services, then someone can find your business listed there. But the problem why I don't like that is that it's too long and many people don't know how to use that process. So you can lose people in the eventuality. So if people are comfortable with personal accounts, better go that route. Unless they are really stringent, but most people who are stringent don't mind paying through bank transfer or through credit card. So you always need to know how to go around that. Zapit and FMBE wallet also are popular in the Zambian market today. So those are some great examples. Let's quickly move on. Flutterwave. So we're going to send you links tomorrow for all of you to register with Flutterwave. So you can just look them up now, but we're going to send you a link because the link we'll send you is going to help us be able to help you optimize with time. I believe we started a relationship that's going to definitely help build us up together. A standalone web page. We're talking about landing pages now. So with landing pages, I talked about this a bit when we looked at positioning, talked about websites. Now, a landing page, simply put, is a standalone web page created specifically for a marketing or advertising campaign. And in my words, also to sell. A landing page is this one-page website. So when someone sees your ad on Facebook and you say, click now, the next page is a landing page. Sometimes that landing page is a form to register, like you did with to register for the free webinar. So that was a landing page in form of a form. Sometimes it's a landing page. Those of you that clicked the go make payments, you found a page that showed you about the training, and there was other call to action saying pay now. So a landing page should do one thing, sell one product. Your landing page shouldn't sell too many things. It should be dedicated. And this is important, like I mentioned in the previous section, it helps your customers not get confused or get misdirected. So your landing page should be a standalone one. Now, this is what we're going to quickly look at, setting up the precise heading and the unique value proposition for your landing page. So how do you set up the precise heading? I talked about how your heading should show your customer how you are unique, all right? But it should really communicate to your target market. So look at this example here. Corporate event gurus. That's catchy. Rather than just putting event gurus, these people's position in the market is that they do corporate events. Simply adding corporate makes all the difference. So how clear is the messaging on your landing page? So it should read clearly. Some examples here are wedding cake masters. Those of you doing cake, think of such words on your landing pages. It tells the people on your landing page, communicating to your target market who are new, people too soon to become newlyweds, to say, we are masters at wedding cake. For Katria, I should definitely talk about her smartphone to say brand new mobile phones gurus or something like that, providers. Fast Lane Business Management Solutions. That's what we do at MakeLife. Management solutions go into management skills such as marketing, sales, record keeping, all the way through to other elements. But one thing we offer you is Fast Lane Business Management Solutions. When you come to us, we help you get on the fast lane. And the fast lane means that we get to help you. Okay, already you get the test of it that, oh, these guys will help me solve my problem faster and efficient. All right, that's really what we want to communicate. Brand new Toyota Auto Spares shop. It's very clear what type of spares are found there. It's specific. It's not all mixed. So if you position yourself to just do Toyota Auto Spares, because you see that's the biggest segment that you have, your landing page must always be clear. If you're doing premium, you talk about brand new. If they're used, you can say good second-hand Toyota Auto Spares shop. Classy evening handbags. Yesterday, Matt mentioned how she does handbags. So maybe you can focus on one particular handbag because you see that its segment is the most, or maybe just two, maybe even shoulder bags. And then you have a landing page that talks about that. Classy evening handbag. So any person who's looking to get a handbag for that dinner will pretty much come to you because they know that you're a master in that. You're precise. You're not trying to touch too many touch points. The unique value proposition is how you are unique. So Tanju mentioned something yesterday about what she does. So you can have something like ensuring that you blow the competition. So suppose you blow the competition away by standing out in your tailor-made swag. So if you're doing something that's tailor-made, make sure that people can see that that's the unique value you're offering. It's a specific need you're meeting. So your unique value proposition must be clearly put out there for you. It helps convert the person. You can see masters of product launches, ensuring that your product launch event happens without a glitch. That's what they're talking about. It means that they're promising you a seamless product launch. That sounds good, right? You're more likely to pay here than you just go and say product launches here. That's so blunt. Nothing added on the value you're going to add to them. When you are reading to come here, you look at it to say, you talk about position yourself competitively in a crowded market. That's the value you're getting in this session. And we were clear from the word go. That's the value of the unique value proposition. Whether it's on the landing page, it's on your site, it must be clear. We supply only quality brand new Toyota spare parts for your car's delight. Your car will feel good. So communicate such things. Because of time, let's quickly move to examples. These are some more examples of landing pages. There's a clear call to action, get my free quotation. You can see enter name, but it says South Africa's premium medical indemnity consultants. We offer comprehensive medical indemnity solutions to medical professionals. So medical professionals already know this is for them, and it's very specific to them. You can go further to talk about the content. You could save up to what? 40% on premiums, etc., etc., etc. Another example, let us transform your golf 1 times 30 minutes free session. You get a full analysis, including etc., etc., call to action here and whatnot. All right, the last element of our training, to give us enough time for a few of questions and follow-up steps from here. When you've done all this and learned how to be able to build your call to actions, you know how to ask and it shall be given. You know how to build your landing pages, and you've gone through the process of being able to. Sorry, let me just. I think. So when you've done all these 3 steps, your call to actions, your payment gateway is set up, and you've been able to look at your landing pages, at times what you might want to do to further optimize your online process is automate it. So now, sales automation is the mechanization, right? By mechanization here, I mean it's how you set it up. You know, you set it up in such a way that it's iterative, it's repetitive, but mostly you bring in external tools. You know, instead of using manual systems to only sell, time-consuming sales tasks using software, artificial intelligence, and other digital tools. This is from HubSpot, and HubSpot offers some great options, though they are at a price. But so in short, it's this. Sales automation is that instead of you getting to do everything manually, like I mentioned yesterday, Google Forms is great, but if you can afford to do and pay for higher sales platforms like the ones I shared with you yesterday, or go to other options like HubSpot, it's better because it's going to automate some of the processes for you to respond to your mail, to send quick feedbacks, to do broadcasting faster, rather than typing every email one by one. So what you want to do is that you want to automate your process by making it easier, because what happens is that when you are growing, you do not want to be able to fail to deliver on a customer simply because you failed to call them in time or you forgot. They told you call me on Monday and you forgot. With sales automation, you will not forget to call your customer because the systems, the softwares will remind you. At MakeLive, we use a lot of CRMs, we use project management tools. This reminds us what we need to be doing when we need to be doing it, because we do not want to miss out on a potential lead. And that's what you need to do. So get to use CRM softwares and tools. So what we'll quickly look at is this: your team sales process and tools you can check up. So just going to recommend 2 tools at the end of this. For now, have an iterative process for everyone to follow. Before you can have sales automation, your sales process must be iterative. You must always know. Remember I talked about building your funnel from scratch. You need to think about your funnel from scratch. It means you need to know that when people come to the free webinar, this is the next step. When this happens, you send emails, you do telecalls, etc., etc. That process must go on and on. If someone asks you about the price on Facebook, you DM them. The next step is this. That sales process must be known. The benefits of this includes improvement in the quality of your sales process over time. Like I've kept on repeating, sometimes you may not get it all at once, but if you continue doing this over and over again, you will become an expert and you'll only get better. So make sure first that your process is iterative. When you find out what's working, iterative means repetitive. When you find out what's working, begin to do that. Write them down. Those processes must be known. That's how you begin to automate them. When you know those processes, you can now start bringing in tools like the HubSpot, the SendLens, you know, and all those to help you automate. MailChimp to do some of the work for you, because now it will help you be reminded. Tools like Asana that will help you with planning your goals as a team, you know, ClickUp. Think about that. So here are some 2 tools I want to recommend: HubSpot and ClickUp. Look at them. You can also check out Asana. You can look at MailChimp and the ones I shared yesterday. So thanks all. It's almost 22. Thank you. I'm going to take questions. And just to note, so you will start receiving your certifications tomorrow. By tomorrow, all of you receive a certificate sent to your mail. There's some of you ask that you also get it sent to your WhatsApp. So we'll send that as well for you. So your certificate is going to read competence in e-marketing, going to be able to note that you've covered the ILO SIYB training as well as e-commerce strategies. And like I told some of you asked, so this is a soft skill training. It's going to complement your opportunities out there when people know that you have a skill set that you can complement to whatever papers that you own currently. And it's going to help you greatly as well. And what I want you to value as well greatly is the value of the information. Like I said, certificates are great, but as an entrepreneur, more than a certificate, what you want is to be able to actually do the stuff. So I'm going to ask you, please go through these videos many times. I'm going to leave it open for you. You can go and listen to them. Please don't abuse them and start sharing to people, because we're monitoring the numbers that are viewing. If the number goes beyond the number that's supposed to be viewing, we will block the channels. So all of you be responsible to not share this content. We are viewing how many people share. We are able to see how many people watch, how often things are watched. So kindly, this is copyrighted. So if you abuse it, we will shut it earlier. But if you want the full benefit of it, you have time to keep on utilizing it. So this is a bonus that we've just put out for you. Please make sure you enjoy the sessions, rewatch them, learn them. Do not share to third parties. If the number exceeds, please, it's business on the corporate side. We will need to be able to protect our materials. I know you value this, and if you love us, please protect what we have to share to you as well. So I'm going to take questions now. If there are any questions related to what we shared or anything that's not yet clear, kindly help us by asking us a question so that we can clarify that for you and for anyone who might have the same question. If you have compliments, you've got comments, feel free to raise up your hand or also share them in the chat box. We will greatly, greatly appreciate that. If you've enjoyed the session, the team is happy to know if it's been great, of great help so far. Yeah, so open to you. Someone says, will making an actual landing page be done on the promo session? If not, then would you recommend some book or something to help? Thank you, been a great run. So for landing pages, okay, some of you are going to ask some questions as well. Let me just get to answer that question. So for the promo run, mostly we're going to push up Flutterwave, but in our 15 to 30 minutes consultation call that we're going to have with you, we're going to be able to utilize that opportunity. And the questions that you help us, we're going to provide you with follow-up material to help you. And for some of you who are already owning a business and you need specific help, if you want a WordPress site, we can help provide you with what you can use, a theme you can use to set it up, and we can guide you on the process. So we'll definitely help you. Remember what we said, we want to see this come to pass for you, but we will not be doing programming and coding. Such platforms take a whole lot of time for, but we can definitely connect you to people who can, and there's serious charges on that. But for easier tools, in which, in my own opinion, work better and are faster, we'll be able to give you access to them. We'll be able to show you how to use them. We won't leave you dry, especially those of you also paid, even who paid also for the 24 hours promotion. You still have that 2 weeks on call that will be you'll be accessing because of your bonus that you paid for within that time frame. But even though you didn't pay for that within that 24 hours, you still get that 15 to 30 minute session. So whatever you take time to utilize in that timeline, we will still be able to help you. So go through this. So what we're going to do is we're going to send you a link that's going to help you schedule your 15 to 30 minutes. So the sooner you respond, the earlier you're going to be positioned in that consultation, because we're going to have to spread you, because you're quite a number, we'll have to spread you across 1 to 2 weeks, and hopefully we don't get to the 3rd week. How productive is affiliate marketing in Zambia for local companies? Very, very productive. If anything, we've got a whole lot of affiliates models as Maketing. It's very, very effective, and I definitely recommend that you do that. If yesterday on the topic of place, one of the things that you look into place is distribution, and distribution means that there are different access points in which your customers can reach you. So if you sell a lot of products or you sell digital products, affiliates are a very good way to do. Just make sure that you're generous, because you know that you can literally make a business of being an affiliate marketer. I've done that, and I stood to debt. Have certain businesses where I'm an affiliate marketer and I just earn commissions. I'm fine earning commissions. In anything in life, some of the fastest money is made, the fastest genuine money is made through selling via commission. But the only problem is that many people don't want to give you healthy commissions in Zambia. But always make it a goal to give healthy commissions to people that are helping you sell or do anything. Something that we treasure greatly. Some of our commissions go up to 30%. And depending on the product, they can even exceed that. So you always need to know. Someone still say thank you. Been a great run from Emmanuel. It's great to know. Find out my end from Tinashe. Thank you. Oh, that was another post. Thank you so much. This has been very informative from Belly Make. Great. Thank you to know. Thank you. It has been insightful and helpful, though I couldn't follow properly because of the work and internet connectivity, but we'll utilize the videos, Emmanuel. All right. Thank you so much, Edson. Definitely make use of those videos, and we'll make sure they stay up long and you'll be able to utilize them. How do I get connected? How do I connect active as an affiliate marketer? How do I get connected as an affiliate marketer? All right, so for affiliate marketing, there's different. Oh, wait, are you talking about specific to us as Make Live? Let me get that clarity, Shipra, with your question. Are you talking about how you get connected with us? Okay, great. All right, so our team will be in touch with you. We'll be able to help you get on board, and you can sell our digital products and get in all the benefits. So definitely we'll get in touch with you. We'll run you through a training on how you do it. But since you've already done this training, some of those things will just be echoing. I'm also going to teach you more specific things to affiliate marketing and sales. So we'll definitely be in touch with you as we start the week on Monday. You can't attend this and be the same after. Great to hear that from you, Loretta. We appreciate that. It's time to be better marketers now. Thank you, Make Life. Oh, we're happy to hear that. Thank you for that as well. The team is so excited. I believe they'll be smiling all over in the inbox just soon enough. A great session from Rosaria. Thank you so much. Immaculate says thank you. It's great to see a lot of will there be another session in future? Definitely there will be other sessions. Like I said, in September we hit our biggest training yet. We've partnered with so many organizations. It's called the Africa Indispensable. We believe it's the largest virtual training that's going to happen in Zambia and I think Africa for a while now. It's going to cover the 10 indispensable skills that you need for a new economy, for the new normal. And this is running on the theme of, obsolete, of phasing off the obsolete skills and promoting the cutting edge modern skills. So we're going to look at opportunities such as becoming a fund manager, becoming a certified virtual assistant, certified knowledge broker, certified renewable energy sales broker. We're going to connect you with those companies that do that. We're sharing the certified software as a service specialist, certified online education setup specialist. We're going to send you these emails as well. Certified live video setup specialist. If you want to help people go live in a professional way, we're going to show you tools how to set them up. People will think as if they are watching people in the States. That's how good the course is. And we partnered with great people in this. We're going to also have certified virtual coach. We're going to show you how to run coaching online. Certified online event organizer. That's something as well that you're going to get. So also certified online education setup specialist. So I mentioned quite a bit of those. So there are 10 skills courses that we're going to run you through. So those of you who will be interested, definitely any of those that speak to you, the information is coming and we're going to send it to your mail. Feel free to go ahead and interact with it. You're going to definitely want to be part of it. You're going to get to listen to the stories of people doing it fine during that process. So thank you for asking that question, Edson. There's definitely more coming. And there's also one that specifically talks about certified e-commerce specialist. So we've talked a lot on marketing. In that course, we're going to focus and zero down into the more technical elements of e-commerce, actually setting up, these particular set systems, the landing pages you're asking about. We're going to focus on the technical things. So here the goal was to build your framework. This is good for the person at the helm of the decisions. And if you can figure that out, it's great. But the skills course will get detailed. If says it seems these lessons will be expensive, please confirm the price on time so that we don't miss. Okay. I guarantee you that they're going to be affordable for you. They're going to be within your income brackets, and something that we definitely are going to work with. And we'll definitely do something. We're going to make sure that you are informed in time. Thanks for the feedback. The team will make sure that you don't miss. You already have interest. Henry says it's been a good 6 hours of investment. It's great to hear that, Hendrix. We need more sessions like this from Kishimba. Thank you so much. This has been an awesome session. Thank you for the knowledge, the advantage bringer. Thank you so much, Ivan. Ivan has read our book, Idea Capital Development, which talks about the 5 pillars of turning ideas into reality. If you want a copy of that book, currently it's on promotion. It's only going for 50 kwacha for the ebook. So you can get in touch with us. That book will change your life. If you are having troubles with execution, get that book. It will give you the mindset for execution. Thank you so much, Ivan, for bringing in that bit, the advantage bringer. That's what we term knowledge as, and we show you how to build that. Great. If there are more questions, we can still get them our last day. So we're going to send you your certifications. Then by tomorrow and next week, you're going to get your opportunity to be able to schedule your appointments, and then we'll be able to discuss. Those of you who did the 24 hours, we're going to take time to just listen exactly what you want. And as much as we are offering Flutterwave, we may see if it's within something that we can do for you easily, and we may be able to supplement you with what you actually need. So please hold those reservations for that course session. Make sure that when you get that notification, you book in early so that you can get an earlier session. We wish we could do them all at once, but since it's consultation, we're going to really need to give you full attention. We want you to get the best experience. Thank you, Janet says, it's been great. So much learning has taken place. Thank you so much. We appreciate that feedback, Janet. Great support all the time that you bring. Awesome. So make sure you listen to those videos over again, go through the marketing manual, do those assessments. And as we have our chat next week, if you have any questions, we'll do that, and then we'll be able to kick into helping you set up. For me and the Make Life team, it's a lovely good night. Feel free to reach us. You can call us on our lines, 0957-999-577 for any assistance, or to be able to inquire about any of the offerings that we have. Remember, IYB is more than marketing. There's a whole lot that you can get. People in productivity, if you are struggling with the people in your company, we can come help you train them, and a whole lot. So you can call on, we can send you catalog and whatnot. info@makelifeint.com is our official email. This is my personal work email, mapalo@makelifeint.com. If you want to reach me directly, feel free to inbox me. So have a lovely good night. Thank you once more for being part of this training, for believing in us. We are happy to have had such a great audience. The meeting will be shared. We wish you a lovely good night and hope to work with you in our future programs.